I could go out there, I could signal you by hand.
At 70 miles an hour?
I'm asking, would it help?
All right. Radio and hand signals will accommodate, okay?
Done.
Be careful.
I will.
And oh, and take that vest off too.
Why?
Just take it off. I don't want to look out this window and see you in that yellow vest. Freak me out.
Well, you know, let me stop talking about Denzel and Tony for a second, because actually one of the things I like about this movie, I think one of the things that's exciting about the movie is I am a huge Chris Pine fan. To me, of the actors of his age, he's hands down my favorite. Of that group.
Okay.
Of that group, of that era, all right, of those guys, he's hands down my favorite. And the thing is, you know, when I saw him in the Star Trek movie as Captain Kirk, I thought, well, he's making this movie. I mean, I'm all aboard, literally.
Yeah.
All right. And then it was so exciting to see him in this, to see him get the Tony Scott treatment.
Yeah.
Okay, because like he needed that to actually make him a movie star in my eyes, all right? And he got the Tony Scott treatment. He got the way it's shot and the way it's lit and the way the film looks and the heroic stuff in it.
Get to jump from the f***ing truck, man.
Yeah. But it's just the way he's filmed. He's filmed like a movie star, and he looks at it. He soaks in those colors.
Yeah.
He soaks in that lighting. He soaks in the costumes. You know, and he completely holds his own with Denzel. And it's just like, that's what he needed to make him a movie star. And this is his first chance to really show his movie star leading a big movie with a big director alongside a big star and holding his own.
Yeah.
And it's also a classic Hollywood move. Okay, this guy has established himself in this movie over here. Let's put him with an older, established male actor, and then see the two of them work together.
Yeah.
And that takes the guy along to the next step. And I think a case can be made that Pine hasn't taken the next big leap, all right, from Unstoppable. Frankly, to tell you the truth, I don't think he's been good in other movies, but he hasn't had that.
Yeah.
He's waiting for you.
You
just got to write him a great part.
I'm the biggest fan of him, so if I had the right role, I would.
For God's sakes.
I would. I'd like to.
You know, he said it's a Christian Slater part, which I agree with, but that makes me think, could Chris Pine, in a time machine, have been in True Romance?
yeah, he could.
That's it. Keep going. Keep slowing. Get her down to 40 and we'll set our boy down.
You can tell that one of the movies that Tony Scott watched while preparing this movie was Apocalypse Now. Mm-hmm. Not just the Ride of the Valkyrie sequence, but the entire Robert Duvall sequence. Even at night when they're on their little surfing hoedown, playing the guitars and stuff. Because one of the things that Coppola realized, much to his chagrin, especially since he was paying for the movie, really much to his chagrin, that after they created this environment with the helicopters after the raid, that if every time we were there, if there's not helicopters flying in the air in the shot, then the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
It all dies. He's created a visual motif that he cannot stop.
Right.
It loses 40% of whatever energy that it had. So he had to orchestrate helicopters flying through every single shot until they leave, until they officially get in the boat and leave and go down the river. It always has to orchestrate helicopter shots in there. And Tony does that. Once the train gets going and once everyone figures out what's going on, every shot has helicopters. Now, I took a little bit of that when I did the Spawn Ranch scene.
Yeah.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's like, okay, once we're in Spawn, once we're looking at the ranch, we see anything, I have to have at least 1 or 2 dog crossings. I had to keep the dogs moving, all right? If we're shooting, even if it's Brad Pitt's on the other side of the screen door in the house, we got to have dog crossings going on in the background. If wherever a Spawn Ranch, any shot has to have some dogs doing something.
No shit.
Yeah.
He's like, get those dogs moving!
It's
one in the back!
It was a lot easier to do than orchestrate helicopters flying through frame, but it was keeping it alive.
Yeah.
It kept the ranch alive. It kept the vibe of the ranch alive. It kept it moving and running and going.
Was that the hardest scene to shoot?
No, not necessarily. That was actually kind of easy to shoot, frankly.
Yeah.